Kia ora, namaste, and a very warm welcome to all our viewers tuning in from around New Zealand and beyond. You're watching live coverage of the 2025 New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship, proudly hosted this year by the Waikato Indian Sports Association in conjunction with NZISA, bringing together community, competition and culture. This tournament's grown into one of the premier events of the New Zealand Indian community sporting calendar, showcasing not only some of the best hockey talent in the country, but also a legacy that stretches back generations. Whether you're new to the NZIHC or have been around since the QBT days, you're in for an absolute treat again this year. I'm joined in commentary this morning by Suresh Wallar, President of the NZISA. Welcome, S-Man.
Namaste, Kamshaw, Jai Shri Krishna, Ram Kabi. How's everybody this beautiful morning down in Waikato? What a day, and what an atmosphere down here. So glad to be back down these ways, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. As mentioned, hosted down here by the Waikato Indian Sports Association, who find themselves back in the men's A section again this year. We hopefully will see them a little bit later, but this morning's matchup, it's between the defending champs, Wellington Indians, taking on Christchurch Indians, who are back for the first time in a couple of years in the men's A section, Pool A, which has been labelled the Pool of Death. These two teams alongside Auckland and Bay of Plenty. Yeah,
it's hey, so great to see Christchurch back, and hey, we changed things up a bit with the way we're running this comp with an 8-team A-grade comp, and we've got every association represented in the A-grade. So that's a massive thing for us, just getting every association out there. So we're going to have Christchurch in there. We've got on the opposing field, there's obviously Pukekohe, we've got Waikato, we've got the champion, current champs, Wellington, and then we've got Central Districts here, Bay of Plenty. Who am I missing, Brad?
North Harbour.
North Harbour.
Yep.
And Auckland, of course. So, wow, it's going to be a massive weekend, and even in the B grade, you know, we've got 5 teams in the B grade. And then the ladies comp is still holding strong at 5, which is great for us.
Yeah, as we see the two teams get through their pre-match pleasantries there. As you mentioned, first time we've had all 8 Indian Sports Associations represented in the men's A section for, well, certainly for rememberable.
Forever, I think, forever.
So how cool is that? Christchurch back, and they're on the live stream for the first time this morning. Just a couple of players to note, of course, this Wellington Indian side, I mentioned defending champs, and pretty loaded with guys that have represented NZISA previous, the likes of Kylan Dial, DVD Bicker, Sergeant Patel, all running around out there as we see them in their light blue and white strip.
Yeah, don't forget Heron.
Yeah, Heron Marnie, another one.
And then we've got Josh out there as well. And there's some big names in that Christchurch team.
Yeah, you look at the likes of Sanjay Kanji out there for Christchurch, last played for North Harbour, I believe, in the previous tournament. Ishan Patel, I think, is supposed to be out there as well. But
yes, he is.
Will and Cam Haid make their way back to the Christchurch colours, so they'll be out there for the lads as well. And the last matchup between these two teams was actually back in 2021 up in Puki. These two teams played off for 3rd and 4th in the men's A section, where Wellington came away with that one. And a young Heron Marnie had 3 goals to his name that day. So
great research, Brad. Thanks for that. Any other nostalgic moments that anyone has, just send it through on our Facebook page or message me direct on Messenger, and we can bring that up over the weekend. Yeah,
absolutely. I was going to ask this morning, S, what are some of your favourite all-time memories of, or was QBT, but the New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship over the years?
30 years ago in Pukekohe, I was playing for Auckland, and we won the Diane Chan. So how's that for a memory?
How good. 30 years ago at the ripe young age of 73, I think you were then. As we see Wellington here, first go at it. Sergeant Patel linking up, going forward. Wellington, of course, in the light blue and white. Christchurch Indians in the red and black. And a lot of these guys for Wellington actually play for the Wellington Indian Sports Club in their Wellington competition. They play Wellington and Lower North Island Intercity comp. So they'll be fairly familiar, a lot of these guys.
Yeah, they've got a good, what do they say, good backbone to the team, right? You know, they play on a regular basis, training on a regular basis, and I think one of their current players is the coach.
Yeah, Will Zoo over there.
That's right.
Usually plays in goal for them in their club and intercity comp, so has been coaching the team for the last couple of years. And there's a little bit of unforced error at the back here for Christchurch, will force them into their own end. And turnover just at 25-yard line. And here they come at the circle edge. They've got the entry. Great tackle there on the edge of the circle. And around go Wellington, looking at the other side of the field, and it goes. Picked by Haid.
Just running into Sanjay there, so no obstruction from the
There's a few times now down this right side of the field. Wellington Indians really looking to breach the baseline. And in it goes Sargent now. Bit of space on the back line, but again, defended Cam Haid. And again, they look just to move the point of attack. They come back to this right side and out again. Press coming now from Christchurch side. And good turnover too from the men in red. Cam Haid now on the ball. Looking forward to seeing some of his attacking prowess we've seen over years here for Christchurch Indians.
oh wow, Vivek.
Bit of skill there.
I picked up some tips from AJ when they were in camp at Heritage, maybe. It's been awesome. DVD sporting a nice new haircut for the weekend.
Yeah.
Good.
It's the Latrell Mitchell look. I think he's going for the high fade. And now Wellington, their turn to show off the outlet, playing a primary back three. Just run out of room. Little scrappy these first couple of exchanges, but now an opportunity, big one here for Wellington, 2v1. Oh, he doesn't get enough of it there. Josh Thurasingham up that side of the field. Have a look at it on the replay. It's a great pass. Just a little messy on the receive, and then yeah, got none of it.
Wow.
Nice overhead, cleaned up though by Lala at the back.
That's well up the front there, is that right?
Yep, Will Haid at the front. Interestingly, Cam's actually kind of playing a central midfielder.
Yeah, a bit deeper there from what we're used to seeing
Yep.
play, like in other tournaments and other teams as well, actually.
Yeah, those that know around the New Zealand hockey circles speaking though, Hiranmani, bit of room on the baseline, well defended by Christchurch.
It was defended well by Neil Govan there, I think. Number 5 is a couple of Auckland boys in here, 2 brothers that are studying down South Island way, which is good. So good to see them helping out the local community.
Yeah, that's it. And like we mentioned, how good to see Christchurch back at this year's tournament. Here come Wellington, but again defended well. They had a quick little training run in the warm-up. I saw Sanjay Gandhi out there, of course, coaching the Christchurch lads again, just running through some of their defensive patterns, and at the moment, looks like it's standing up. Haid here, working his way in front of the dugouts. Get another free hit here, Cam Haid, just out towards that right sideline. Now we'll get the ball into the right spot. They'll have another go at it here at Christchurch. Looked at the overhead first. decided to transfer around the back, bit of space on this left side.
It's Govan there, that's Kanji. Just a bit of a loose pass.
And one at about halfway. Here come Wellington.
That's Alex, right?
Yeah, Alex Sminko-Bucknell.
Through direct there, but might have to excuse us. We haven't had our team list printed, so we're both trying to read off our phones the team list.
Between that and struggling to see the numbers on the back of the Wellington strip.
Yeah, I think it was a bit lazy there from Ashpreet. Just Ashpreet Gondola.
Yeah, it's one of those, the overheads we've seen a fair bit in the men's game there, just on the crossfield onto the baseline that we saw from Wellington. This one here, Hiranmani parked out near the tee spot, and a pretty easy call in the end. So first look at the penalty corner here for Wellington. So 2 brackets set up. You go to the first.
Good save.
Yeah, great save, and it's out onto the body of the runner too. So first question answered by Christchurch.
He's got the young guy in goal there, right? Let's see if we can pull up his name.
Yeah. Speaking of young guys, going to make a bit of a shout out to Harrison Clulo. Unable to take the field out here this weekend for Wellington. He's injured his leg, so he's in a moon boot.
Oh no.
Harrison, a late withdrawal from the team. He's still come up with the team, which is epic, over there in the dugout with the boys. But one of the standouts, of course, of the JHL and Heritage tournaments earlier in the year.
Oh, nice turn. Yeah, young goalie in there, Kisha, I think his name is there.
And Christchurch just trying to find their way through the defensive group of the Wellington side.
Kivisham, sorry, Brad.
Kivisham, the young goalkeeper for Christchurch, answered the first test at penalty corner time.
Yeah, it's a shame for Harrison because I know he was looking forward to this. I know his dad's from this way, original Waikato boys.
Right.
That's where they're from.
Yep.
So I played him a few times down here for Intercity on this turf here, so remember that.
And the swarming press there from Wellington. They get a turnover just on halfway. And a loose one. They're trying to take things quickly here, Wellington, but no way forward, so they'll come at least out momentarily. And now trying to find a bit more space. There's that overhead again onto the baseline.
Yeah, it's a skill, isn't it, that we've seen over the last little bit, haven't we, Brad?
Yeah, really started to increase in popularity, that little crossfield towards the T-bar. Yeah, the baseline there, just catching defenders out. Again, this Wellington team doing enough to keep the ball in their attacking end. And they come out and around. Back forward, there's a big entry, a lot of time. First shot saved. Still trying to find another one, Sargent. Second one saved as well, and penalty corner is the call down there. It was a bit of a scramble, really. Yes, it wasn't the prettiest.
No, a couple of good saves from the goalie, but then I think he lost his footing there by the looks of it.
Yeah, first one's a good one. Sargent just trying to weave his way through. Yeah, a little bit messy there, and a little bit of a lie down as well.
Yeah, so yeah, I think Wellington were calling for the stroke, but I don't think there's much in it. Well, not stroke material.
No, not early doors anyway. As we'll see the second look at the penalty corner here for Wellington. They went first bracket, first time, and it was a glove save.
Yeah, left glove, so.
Go there again. This time it's on the ground and it's in the back of the goal. I think it actually took come off the foot of the postie on its way through. We'll get another look at it, but it's the first corner executed here at Wellington.
Yes.
Yep, off the left foot of the lineman. Nothing really you could do about that one.
Just, the speed of that one.
And now here come the Hay boys, trying to work their way, the two-man game through the middle. Well, we're going to have a few blows of the whistle, a couple of toots of the horn. And Will Hayde might go and take a seat for a couple of minutes. He just got tangled up more than anything, but trying to take it quickly. Wellington now, they're up this right side again. Entries in. Oh, and a rare miss at it there. So I think it was Alex or Sarge, one of the two up there together. Wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be much like Sarge to miss one like that. But they're really trying to put this press on here. Is Sarge lays it off to the left and now back in. Oh,
safe.
Great pass, good attack, even better defence there. Well saved again by our young fella in goal. And Wellington really trying to turn the screws on. They've scored one. I think they can smell blood a little bit here. Yes, in these last 3 minutes of the...
bit of a power play with Canterbury one down.
Yeah. This will be huge if they can find a second here late in the first quarter. Again, ball searching across the circle. Still there for the Wellington side.
Oh, unlucky to rebound onto his foot.
Yeah, sometimes you risk that when you come in on the one-handed reverse tackle like that. Not sure where the ball's going to fall, and that time on the defender's foot. We'll see it again on the replay here. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate.
I think there was Vivek out there, right? Defending out there on that corner.
As we see the team set up for their third penalty corner. If you're in and around the Hamilton or Waikato area, even Pookie, that's close enough. Get down here for the weekend. We're 3 days at the Waikato Hockey Centre. And here, this time they go, second bracket, it is Sarge. Oh, that's pretty. Sarge just putting it on an absolute dime there for the injector. And they do go 2 penalty corners back to back here for Wellington. We'll see it on the replay. This will be a nice view of it. Oh.
Yeah, that's...
It's actually inside. It's down the left foot of the three-man, the head runner there for Canterbury. And
tough defence.
Yeah. Tidy deflection. Wellington showing a bit of the set piece early doors here on day one of the New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship.
See Shea with that trap there. It's good to see Shea's always back for Wellington. Obviously plays up in Auckland, lives up there, but represents Wellington proudly every year.
Yeah, and pretty epic to see him playing for
Heritage.
Back
that was awesome
at Heritage earlier in the year.
That's a great ball, that.
Oh, I'll tell you one person who would have liked to be on the end of that, Cam Hayde, with an extra probably 5 or 6 inches of height there.
Yeah, it did well.
Might have had a good go at it.
It's a nice little overhead out there.
Yeah.
I think that was Ashpreet.
Yeah, so that's the good signs from Christchurch. Certainly not giving up. Only early days here as we count down the last 30 seconds of the first quarter. And Christchurch thought they might have got a whistle there potentially for danger on the overhead, but instead they're down the other end now. Wellington in the dying seconds. Can they create something? Hiranmani. It's going to fall away, and the hooter goes there for end of the first quarter. Wellington in control at the minute, 2-0 over Christchurch Indians. And a lot of pressure being put on by that Wellington team. Really high press, trying to trap everything they can. But pretty good execution from the penalty corner too.
Yeah, you can see it through the midfield. They're just not giving them anything. You know, they're just any loose pass or loose carry. You know, Wellington are just onto it straight away. But these PCs of theirs, you can tell they're well drilled in that, obviously, because as you can see in their club comp, they're scoring a heck of a lot of goals.
Yeah, that's right. I think they actually played against Amanjot and the boys up in at Akina last weekend, and I think 7 or 8 of them they scored. So well-versed team. We see some of these highlights. A lot of it will be at the attacking end for Wellington. Penalty corners, this the second.
Oh, well, that's
gorgeous.
It's
Nicely executed.
That's pretty nice. Look at that.
Yeah, nothing you can do at all there. And it's a good change-up after they went to the opposite side on the earlier penalty corner. So showing off the skill set. Wellington taking on Christchurch in the first game of the day here on the live stream turf.
And we can just look over the turf too. We've got Pukekohe and Waikato have just started. So Puke A, Waikato A have just kicked off their game. First, both teams having their first run for the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a newly laid turf over there too on number 2.
Yeah, been down for a couple of months, is that right?
Yep, brand new one there to start the season. It's always looking sharp at the moment. And back out here on turf 1, our teams back into it for quarter 2. Men's A section, Pool A between Wellington and Christchurch. Christchurch shall have first go over here through Hayde. See they opt to go out the back. And great receive there, and the free hit coming as well for Christchurch.
A smart play there from Vivek, just trying catching the foot.
Now perhaps an opportunity here for Christchurch. Again, great receive. There's a lot of blue jerseys in the picture though. And they turn that one away.
Again, Vivek just showing a bit of control.
Here we go, first real opportunity for Christchurch. 1, 2, 3 goes at it.
Wow.
And it finally finds the back of the goal.
17, who's that? Ishan Patel.
Now,
a scramble, but
it was.
Just,
we'll have a look at it on the replay. First, second.
Nice.
Finally got it clear, and just like that.
Not much we can do close range for that.
And what an answer here from Christchurch. Conceded 2 late in the first quarter, and at least get halfway to erasing the deficit early in the second, and now we can see a little bit more excitement about the men in red.
I think that's good for the Christchurch team. It's a settler, right? You know, they sometimes it's the first game out, trying to get in the circle and all that sort of stuff. You know, they get a circle penetration and get a result.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's no easy task coming up against the defending champs in your first run around, probably relearning people's names in the warm-up.
And maybe even introducing yourself, some of them. It's one of those tough ones around these, smaller ISCs that don't have a regular playing team. But, hey, they come together, which is awesome. And so great to see them out.
Yeah, and it's actually the 2 teams that travel the furthest for this year's tournament, Wellington and Christchurch, at least by nature of where they are, as Hayde now earns the corner. That's what we've come to know here, and for those that are in and around this area, Cam playing his club hockey here this
year. The Waikato?
Yep, for Hamilton Old Boys. And we've seen a fair bit of that already this season. Look at this, beats 1, 2, turns the next one, and that stick tangle, no good for Wellington. And can Christchurch come back here at 2 goals in the first 3 minutes of the second quarter? We'll get first look at the penalty corner.
We've got this Ashbeat.
Yeah, we've seen a bit of him.
2 batteries. Yeah, we had that nice overhead, so maybe he's going for that drag flick, but you've got 2 batteries set up.
Yep. Ashpreet and Cam on the second. Will be Ashpreet.
Wow.
Oh, and he's got one on him too. How good. Look at that. Love to see it. This will be a nice angle of it. Opens the wrists and
wow.
That's pretty.
Few samosas behind that, brother.
I tell you what.
That's pretty awesome.
Tell you what, to like I said, to open the hands up on that one and pick the opposite corner. Look at Christchurch go bang, bang early in the second, and just like that, as it looked like Wellington had maybe found a bit of control. Well, we're all locked up again at 2 each. As they break forward now, right baseline, goalie's a long way out.
There's Josh just trying to pull that one back infield, I think.
And again, for those of you new to New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship, goals are aplenty in these games. I don't think anybody expected that game to die at 2-0. We're 2-2 already, just 4 minutes into the second quarter. And now there's that swarming press we've seen from Wellington. That one.
Just out of reach for Josh there. Good crowd here this morning, Brad.
It's really building up, which is awesome to see. Of course, you mentioned we've got the men's A and B section, and then the women that we'll see a little bit later this morning as well. And most of the games being played here at Waikato. Of course, a couple of games
St. Paul's
be played at St. Paul's.
Yeah, so this morning in St. Paul's, you've got Wellington B, Pookie B. So they started at 9 o'clock.
And Hiranmani now, opportunity. Just lets it run away a little bit too far, I think, towards the baseline. Had a crack at it anyway and forced the save, but would love that on a bit better angle. Another penetrating pass down there to Mani. Can't pull it in that time. And, one thing we can hear, I'm not sure if you can get it through on the live stream, but Sanjay Ganda, the coach of the Christchurch boys, real vocal in trying to get their press out. You hear him calling, don't sag, don't drop back around there, defending 23. And this one cut out on the baseline.
Yeah, Sanjay's a pretty prominent figure down there, like in Canterbury as well, working in the Canterbury hockey scene.
Yeah, long-time coach of the Beavers, their men's B team in the previous NHC tournaments. There's a little opportunity here again. Mani on the end of it.
Did well there, didn't he?
Yeah, really well. But again, equally well defended by Christchurch.
Yeah, starting to listen to Sanjay's podcast here that he's got,
Right,
Coach's Corner.
Yes.
So he's just having a chat with Chris Easley.
Yep.
So that was a bit of an insight to Chris's experience here with the Black Stick ladies and stuff. So that was quite an interesting chat. It's pretty good. Log on to it, have a look.
I was going to say, for all your hockey fanatics out there, there's not a ton of media around the hockey space. So Coach's Corner with Sanjay Ganda, get about it. Wherever all good podcasts are located. And yeah, CL.
Sika coming through. I think Hamish has played a few times for these guys now as a draft player. So it's good to see he's coming back. Plays his hockey up in Auckland there. And
yeah, and I think that's the key to this tournament. I was talking to the CD boys a little earlier, just being able to have some continuity in the teams. We see Will Haid here now.
wow.
He's in the circle. And it's just saved away. Wasn't all that convincing.
No, that early shot really catches goalies off guard, you know. So for any young players, get that shot on early.
Yep, and it's not the big wind-up at the top of the circle. It's just flicking the wrists on it and getting something going goalward. There's Cam Haid here, beats one.
Oh.
And penalty corner coming. Again, that's the expertise of Cam Haid.
I think just getting a bit lazy on it.
Yeah, defensively there, as we see the replay. It was a little bit late there as the teams get together. And shout out, of course, to Cam Haid and his I think a new O Studio opening up in Hamilton soon, Wellness and Fitness Centre.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he and his partner Brooke, former Black Stick. That's opening, I think, in the next week or so, O Studio. So for the locals here in Hamilton looking for those, that's where to find them. Trapped again. He's our man.
Oh, wow.
And he's got another one. That time didn't really rip the roof down, but placed it.
Just dipping down and bit of a change up with Cam trapping.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest setup at the top. They had to take a couple of steps at it, but Ashpreet, I think, our man again, number 7 there for Christchurch. And they find the lead here in the second quarter. What a huge period for the Christchurch team. 3 goals in the second quarter. And now another opportunity.
Yeah, good
So
call.
we just mentioned, we got the word there. Only 3 real opportunities. They had a bit of a scramble, which resulted in their first goal, and then 2 from the corners. So they're taking their chances when they come. And as we mentioned the pool of death earlier, we didn't even really consider Christchurch in that mixer, and now all of a sudden you've got
I think,
4 teams that really could do it.
When you look at the team on paper, like, you know, I know they've got some talent out there, you know. Some of these kids are just, well, some of them aren't kids, but, you know, just the level that these guys are already playing in at club and at rep level, you know, some of them involved with training camps, NZ training camps, etc. So it's great to see them come together, you know.
Yeah, and for those perhaps again unfamiliar, thinking, well, what are Will and Cam doing out here? They've actually represented Christchurch for a number of years.
Yes. So the way the rules work, if your grandparents a citizen or national of India, they're eligible to play. So their granddad has got citizenship of India through the obviously maybe the war, etc. So that's how that works. Because that's always the first question people ask.
Yeah,
you know, it's not being racist or anything silly like that, but that's just the way it works. We had Xavier Guy that used to play for Pukekohe, the same thing. His grandmother was a national of that part of the world, so like a citizen. So yeah, that's how it all works. Oh,
that one miscue. This is one person you don't want coming forward. What a tackle there.
He's got a good big boy, eh?
Yep.
He's a solid lad.
Yeah, one that's certainly putting his hand up for man of the match honours at the moment for Christchurch. As we see down in front of us here, the other defending champs, the North Harbour ladies, are out in full force this morning with an early game.
They will be playing Auckland, I think.
Yeah, I think it is the local battle to start.
No, North Harbour playing Pukekohe.
There we go. That's coming up shortly out here. Men's game's on at the moment. Here's Wellington trying to find an equaliser after being up 2-0, find themselves behind 3-2 here.
Haven't seen much of the circle here either, Wellington.
No, this quarter's been dominated by Christchurch. And now at the entry, finds the foot there.
Is that a PC, is it?
Penalty corner coming the way of Wellington. They've executed 2 from 3 so far in this one. Let's see what they've got for an answer, potentially. 3 minutes left here in the quarter. And for those curious, still scoreless over in the Puki Waikato game on Turf 2. And we're out here, penalty corner for Wellington. First bracket again. It's well run. Oh, Sarge trying to go with the alley-oop.
Yeah, it's good umpiring too.
Yep.
You know, just let it play.
Yeah, up off the first runner. Well run, well defended, and then an opportunity there for Sarge just to dunk one.
It's a pretty short 5, Sarge.
He's a big lad. The 5 closes down pretty quickly when he gets his stick up. Unforced error. Here come Christchurch. It's going to fall there for Haid. He's got the circle entry. And the scramble falls the way of Wellington.
Nice 3D skills there, just not being able to connect with that shot.
Oh, the trap door is going to fall for Wellington. Oh, one arm, reverse sweep.
I think that was Neil coming through with the bit of a saviour there.
Around go Wellington. Minute and a half left in the second quarter. 3-2 the advantage to Christchurch. And a pretty
Pretty vocal.
Yeah, the team's wanting perhaps maybe a penalty corner off that one. The challenge there, just the long. This Wellington team just trying to build up. Got about a minute left here in the quarter on that one. Miscue. Wanted it closer to the sideline, and Christchurch happy to take their time getting this one. Again, we see nicely placed overhead here for Christchurch. They'll win the free hit and take it quickly. They're just going to be asked to slow it down.
Yeah, that's Hamish Govan doing some good work
there. Again, for those perhaps that couldn't hear it, Cam about 6 times, Willie wider was the call. Talking to his brother, get a little bit wider so he can throw that overhead. And now the entry, well defended by Wellington.
That's 5, so nothing's... Oh, wow, what a time for a PC.
Yeah, interesting. For those that just kind of missed it in the scramble there, the Wellington defender just stopping the ball from being passed back up to the 25-yard line for the long corner.
So yeah, silly stuff inside the 25, and you know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, I think trying to pretend that he maybe didn't know if it was his ball or their ball, but I think it was fairly obvious in that one. And now Christchurch, can they get 4 in the quarter? Would be huge.
That's
and they're all up here too. Here we go for 3. Oh, Will Hayde.
Wow.
Fortunate for the Wellington team that it went across the goal, because that was an open one. We'll see it here on the replay. Well run this time, and this, oh, he got a fair bit of it too.
Had a bit of time.
Yeah. And just the 1 goal lead for Christchurch, and they've answered back big time in the second quarter.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's just a 1 goal, Brad. I think it's a massive turning point.
Absolutely huge. You know, if they can go on to win this one, Christchurch, I'm sure they'll look at the second quarter, and it'll be the reason they turned the tide. But a huge 3 goals in the period unanswered.
Yeah, it's that was a massive turnaround.
Yeah, for those that you know, perhaps looking at the TAB and Wellington were favourites coming in. No such thing as favourites here.
No, it's I know we got some of the local Canterbury crew tuned in down there. Ash, how are you? And I know there's a few of the other crew that haven't been able to make it up. But yeah, welcome to our Canterbury customers. And I hope you're enjoying the live stream so far. Awesome showing from your team so far. That second quarter has just been massive for them. Brad?
Yeah, we let the team at home take a look at the highlights. What we'll see is first quarter all blue, second quarter all red. And the first goal from the penalty corner for Wellington. Then look at that, bullet. I'm sure we'll probably have a few families from both sides here tuning into the live stream. I mentioned the 2 most travelled teams in Wellington and Christchurch.
But we've got quite a few of the Wellington crew here as well. See DVD's bed down there. I think, see Umish Parag's down here. So is young fella, I think. Let me pull up my name, my sheet here. I think Sachin, maybe?
There, here we have a look at these penalty corners. First one, ripped into the side net. Good as you like. That's a flick. That's an absolute weapon. Then this one, that's all placement. The gap between the goalie and the postie. And then have a look at this one from Wellington. Their sole real opportunity, Sarge there going for the dunk. And this one right before the final whistle, Will Hayde misses only by millimetres on the far post.
And I don't know if the crew at home have got smell-o-vision, but Brad and I have just got the smell of somersaults coming waffling through, and the tent's about 20, 30 metres away. So, you know, the wind's probably not doing us any favours by, you know, blowing down this way.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, for those perhaps unfamiliar with the tournament, as hot as the hockey is, the butter chicken pies, samosas, sausage on bread is probably just as hot. And the you're right, the scents have started to get around the ground. And that's one of the key parts of this tournament this weekend.
Yeah, if we see the stats that just came up before, 3 shots on goal, 3 goals. That's Christchurch stats. I'm not sure if Alex is able to bring that up for us again, but Brad and I were too busy talking about food. But yeah, look at that. Wellington 2 goals, 5 shots on goal, and Christchurch 3 from 3.
Yeah, pretty efficient, isn't it? They had the scramble and the 2 corners they executed.
Yeah, and double circle penetrations by Wellington 8 and Canterbury with 4. So yeah, pretty efficient stats there for Canterbury, and this young boy here, Ashpreet.
Yeah, number 7, the man. He's primarily playing at the back for Christchurch, but heck, he knows how to find the goal when he gets up there on a penalty corner. Does Ashpreet. 2 goals to him already in this men's first match. And like we've seen over a number of years here, these, I guess, somewhat unknown or young players really putting their hand up and stamping their mark.
But that's the beauty about having all 8 clubs represented. You know, we find we get these players from all over the country. You know, young ones, older ones, doesn't matter. But you know, we see stars rising through, and that's what we're all about. You know, young guys coming through.
Yeah, absolutely, and it gives the opportunity, regardless of where you live in the country, you can have a pathway to the A section, and like I said, put your hand up.
Yeah, like as president, I'd like to open up the draft a bit more so we can have players that can make themselves available for A teams. You know what I mean? It's not all about, you know, I think, you know, it's great to represent your club, but.
And here, fast start from Wellington. It's scrambly, but well defended by Christchurch. I will say they've been pretty impressive in their scramble defence, Christchurch. As we see a laugh amongst mates there. Will and Sarge, I think Will just ran out of room.
Ran out of turf. Someone moved the line.
Yeah, so. The sideline's got a bit narrower here since the last time out here for Will. And Sarge just having a good giggle about it.
As we look over the other turf there, Brad just put him an update. We're lucky with the scoreboard. So Pukekohe 1, Waikato 0.
Yeah.
And that's in the second quarter. So about 7 to go in that second quarter.
Yeah, Puki again, one of the perennial A section teams, joined us in that game over there by Waikato, the hosts.
Yep. First time back for Waikato after winning the B section last year.
Yep. And we've been fortunate enough, I think we've been here the last 4 tournaments with the Indian tournament here. We've seen the growth from 4 teams in the men's A section, back up to the full 8. So really
that was unfortunate when we're down in Canterbury there, like just with the Christchurch, our first live streaming venture with only the 4 teams. But you have to do what you do to make it work, you know. So.
Yeah, and look where it is now. 8 teams here, 5 in the men's B section, 5 women's teams, and one of the highlight tournaments of the year. Not just for the Indian community, but everybody that's able to tune in.
Here we go. It's Alex.
Big turnover. And miscue on the pass. I will say, for the opportunities Wellington have had, they're probably a little disappointed in some of the execution going forward. Sarge now searching.
It's a little bit messy there, isn't it, in the midfield, just up here in that, just in the mids there.
Yeah, and I think sometimes that it can be the case when you're playing against a team that just scramble. Christchurch probably playing a little unsettling in their defensive systems, just making a mess of as much as they can.
But that's what the players they have as well, right?
Yeah, sometimes perhaps a stroke of master coaching by Sanjay, just do what you've got. And
wow.
Hayde rolls one. forward, and it's a foot race into the corner.
He's up for it.
Again, a little messy. That one will go the way of Wellington. And the overhead out towards halfway. That one can't be brought in. DVD, where's off the stick challenge. He'll win a free hit and try and get it going. Wellington, opportunity on the entry. Again, it's cut out well. And
Evic did well.
yeah.
Josh coming through with the subtle X.
And taken quickly there. Oh. Tell you what.
It's pretty terrible, isn't it?
Tell you, if there's any questions on whether Will and Cam Hayde are Indian, they've certainly got Indian wrists. Jeez. Tell you what, some of the quickest hands going around out there are those two.
Yeah, the Indian dribble is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome to see.
About midway through this third quarter here, no change to the halftime score. Christchurch 3-2 ahead of the defending champs Wellington. And a real battle out here. Men's A section, Pool A. And free hit coming the way of Christchurch. And a look over to start, and out the back they come. Here's the man with 2 goals next to his name. And they come forward, searching ball. Cut out well.
Actually got that wrong. Yeah, Hamish is playing for Wellington.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he did a couple of years ago down in Christchurch actually. So yeah, apologies, Suka family. Jane has just stayed with Pukekohe, so that's easy to remember.
That's it. That's it.
No, it's great to see him playing. Yeah.
Here is Hamish Sukkot, rolls it back, and what a pass. And skill here. And that one, not Hiranmani's best work. He's trying to take a step up into the heavyweight division. Hiranmani there with the shoulders.
Yep.
And that overhead, a real lolly scramble in the end. Everybody wanting a bar of it. And that one a little bit slower, so they'll try and have a crack at this one here, potentially, but cleaned up well by Hamish. And around the other side. Again, happy just to keep possession, but falls here for Wellington. Now an opportunity up into the attacking zone. Great spot. Oh no, it's found his foot there on the line.
I think he would have been better off jumping instead of trying to use the stick.
That's it, I think it may have gone in anyway. Hard to tell from this angle, but we'll get a look at it soon. And there's a big bomb.
Ashpreet's getting plenty on that overhead, isn't he?
Yeah, I tell you what, for those that didn't know previous, it's a name to look out for. Ashpreet here for the Christchurch side. Throws a good overhead, and obviously pretty powerful drag flick on him as well, as we've seen earlier in the game. And here he is now, looking across that left side, right in front of the dugouts. The one thing, you can see the long shadows on the field. It won't be favouring the Wellington team at all. They'll be looking into the sun on those overheads, so perhaps see that as an opportunity.
Well, you can tell by the goalie there, just covering his eyes.
Yeah.
Get the old masking tape across the grill, mate. That's what I do. So that'll help you out.
Don't be surprised if we see a bit more of the overhead tactic. There's another one.
Oh, nice.
That one's cut out well by Hamish Sukkot, and now a bit of space. He's a rangy customer.
Got a bit of toe, hasn't he, for a big fella, big tall fella.
Just outran the ball there momentarily. A good low defence.
Vivek doing enough there to get out of trouble.
Now, Ashbury, will we see it? He goes over again.
Sometimes I think you just got to be careful of that, and we know you've got an overhead, but just don't overuse it.
Yeah.
You know, it's good to get out of trouble, but I think pick your moments.
Yeah, it's often you see one or two come off and then they fall in love with it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Especially if they're giving you the space to do it. You know.
See it again this time. Again, that one's.
Yeah, but the way these guys can trap these days. That one's just...
and there wasn't even really any Christchurch players that could have taken that one in. Even the miss there from Hamish Suka, relatively unchecked. And now Wellington, well, they'll try and build up again. This half-court shape here from Christchurch. Just happy to slide on the midline. And, unfortunate there, the turnover cut out.
Hey.
Free hit, just outside. They wanted the advantage perhaps with the entry. And now the one touch in. Oh, great. One time touch and save there on both parts. Still there for Wellington. Cross from Marnie.
Nice hockey all around there.
Yep.
Just a couple of saves, nice touches and goal. But we see the PC.
Yeah, good bit of pressure there put on by the Wellington side. Earned that free hit just outside the circle. We'll see it on the replay. One touch pass, one touch shot, saved. And then the follow-up saved as well and just up into the body there. So can Wellington level things up? They executed 2 of their early penalty corners.
2 from 2. And probably the first real chance they've had. Oh, well, they've had that other field goal shot, which maybe Alex should have jumped instead of trying to get a stick to. But hey, here we go.
Second bracket, it's mistrapped. Still there for Wellington. Marnie has a belt at it, but it's carved away.
Didn't get much of that, did he?
No, he didn't get all of it.
Easier save for the goalie there.
And again, just trying to use that wall pass, the misdirect, one-touch pass around the edge of the circle here at Wellington.
Just a bit of an update from the other side. I think Pookie had a PC at just before.
Oh no. Oh, he's got no grip on his boots. Oh, that could have been a real opportunity. The overhead there for
Jay Kanji.
Yeah.
So on the other turf, Pookie Curry are up 2-0. It looks like they scored just on a half-time break there.
Yeah, that's the newly named Suka Cup over there, I think. Ailish on one side and Nedish on the other.
Oh yeah, Nedish will celebrate birthday today. Obviously, Nedish.
Yeah, happy birthday to the world's flashiest Indian.
Yeah, he's running around with the face mask today, I think.
Yeah, well, I saw he actually walked in with 3 different pairs of hockey shoes this morning as well, different colours. So I think he's just got to tie in between his own uniform, the opposition and the refs.
Yeah, okay.
Make sure he looks sharp, neats. But yeah, happy birthday. And of course, one of the premier defenders at this tournament for a number of years, and of course playing for the New Zealand Indian side as well. So shout out to Neats.
Off over to Europe to play a bit of hockey.
Yeah, that's the word on the street. So go well. And hopefully we can see him still representing NZISA or Pookie where he can. And out here again, under 3 minutes now in this third quarter. It's the first quarter so far with no goals.
Yeah.
2 to Wellington in the first and 3 to Christchurch in the second, and both teams fighting. Oh, just as I say, no goals. Sargent. Oh my goodness. Is there anyone that can, anyone else that can score goals like that? Sarge.
How's
that's
that
special.
That entry from Suka, just a little bit off the ground.
Yep.
So it wasn't dangerous, but just how good.
Yeah, just a little skip on the ball, as you mentioned, and Sarge makes no mistake with that one. That's in the roof. I think he'd already started celebrating as soon as the ball hit his stick. He knew it was good. And a little scramble there. We hear some of the crowd, whoever's standing nearest the mics, let him play, they reckon. Let the boys duel it out. And speaking of a duel, we're in one at the moment. 3-all here. 90 seconds left in the third quarter. And setting up what I'm sure is going to be an epic fourth quarter between these two teams. Men's A section, that one. It's got some snow on it.
Bit of a midfield bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah. And here comes Haid up the middle of the field, linking up with his brother. Here it is. They tackle each other. Oh, nothing coming. They can't believe it. Christchurch, and give away the free hit as well. A head scratcher for the boys in red.
Yeah, I think the refs are right there. There was nothing in it.
Yeah.
It was just all stick. Nice bit of skill there by Will. Tackling Vivek at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. Just upping the tackle stats. Doesn't matter if it's on your own teammate.
Yeah.
Still count.
A nice little run. But coming into the last 30 seconds of this quarter, big fourth quarter coming up for both teams, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And what a way to start the weekend too. 3-all here in the third quarter. And they've perhaps got one go at it. Ashpreet's looking long doors. And it's going to... Oh.
I don't know how we got that.
Cam Hay doesn't have long. He's going to go quickly.
He'll be looking for a...
He's going to... what a thought.
tackle for a PC. No.
Yeah, couldn't quite get one. An opportunity away there. Cam Haid. And we're locked up here. 3-all heading into the fourth quarter. Like I said, what a way to start the weekend.
Oh, wow. It's... yeah, certainly the first quarter was all Wellington, obviously, 2 goals, and then the second one, Christchurch, just just awesome, just three unanswered. Then this third quarter, well, hey, just taking their chances, I guess, but it's going to be a doozy for the fourth, right?
Yeah, that's it. And for anybody that thought they were going to roll into the TAB this morning, not one I'd be trying to put any money on. Like I say, if you'd watched the first quarter, you might have thought Wellington were going to run away with it. I think Christchurch pulled out what looks like probably the quarter of the game so far.
Sorry, I'm having a bit of a chuckle to Brad here. They handed us some team sheets, but I just realised it was the ladies' game.
Yeah, none of these ones are out there at the moment. We'll see them shortly, I think, the Wellington and Auckland ladies. But at the moment, it's Wellington and Christchurch in the men's. That's the goal. Oh, what an angle of it. That one will be clipped and put on the highlights reel, I'm sure.
Yeah, Sarge's got plenty of those highlights in his reels. So it's, yeah.
We see Sanjay Ganda there. Really laying down the law there. Really clear and direct with those comms for the Christchurch boys. We mentioned highly esteemed coach down in the Christchurch and Canterbury region.
Yeah, it's awesome, eh? Sanjay's very animated. It's so, and it's great you can hear his voice on the sideline. I remember playing against him, and that's all you can hear is his voice. You know, he's a great communicator, especially when he was in goal there. Just it always sends a good message.
Yeah. He's some might say the Harley Cooper of the Indian community. Loud and goal, loud and proud, but certainly knows what he's talking about. As we're underway here, fourth quarter, this is it. For these two teams, will they open their tournament with a win, or will they be forced to fight through the results of the rest of the weekend? And I tell you what, a first up loss certainly makes things tough, especially in this pool.
For any pool, you know, and that goes for any tournament hockey, you know. It's a nice little battle there, Heron and Govan.
Yeah, as the old adage goes, you can't win it on game one, but you can certainly make things difficult.
Yes. Yep. Just that sun I think has just got him there. Maybe that's why Ashbury's using that quite a bit, Brad.
Yeah, we did mention the low sun here in the morning in Hamilton. For those in and around the area, you don't get many sunny days this time of year in Hamilton. The fog has cleared.
I don't think there was any fog.
No, it was actually not too bad. The wind, I think, scared it all away.
Yep.
There's opportunity.
Just a reminder to everybody for if we are tied up, a draw at full time, we do go straight into shootouts. Every game at this tournament needs a result. So,
such is the nature of the short tournament. Draws always make things awkwardly weird when you're working out goal difference. So, shootouts on the agenda, and both teams, they'll be hoping not to have to go that far on game one. They'd like to probably distance themselves a little in this quarter if they can, but if we're still locked up, penalty shootout. And at the moment, that's all tied up, 3 apiece here. Wellington, Christchurch.
It's like a big shout out to One Foundation, who are our funding agency who help us out with all aspects of these tournaments.
Scramble here and over the back line. Yeah, massive shout out to One Foundation. I know I've been a partner with NZISA for a number of years now, not only with this tournament but other events through the year as well, and of course help bringing this live stream to you. So all these games on Turf 1 live and free, which will include of course the men's final on Monday.
Men's final, ladies final.
Yeah, and a range of games in between. But for those in and around the area, get down here, make the trip. Great hockey, great food, and a great Indian hockey community here out in full force as Wellington break forward 2-on-2 if they can get it going. Christchurch getting back in numbers. Oh, what a ball across the goal, well defended. And they'll win a free hit too there. Ashbury again will try and get it up in the sun.
As you can see that, I think it is playing a bit.
It is
troubling, eh? Like we did mention, falling in love with it, but I think it maybe is a ploy from Sanjay there.
Yeah, I think there's an added bonus with the sun as Hiranmani looking for an entry. No good.
Tackle, Sanjay.
And well won there by Becker and Marnie. Now opening up the middle of the circle. In it goes, but no one there on the near side.
I think the thing is when you come into these shootouts as well, like the points, if you have a clear win, it's 4 points.
Yes.
Yep.
Huge bonus.
Huge bonus, but a shootout win is obviously both teams get the 1 point, and then you get 1 point for the win. So just sort of chasing it a little bit, Brad? And no team wants to be in that position. So
no, the difference in 4 points versus 2 in the outright win versus shootout win, it's huge, especially with how tight it looks like the competition's going to be this year. There's the long handle, beats everybody over the baseline. 10 minutes left here in this fourth quarter. It's men's A section, Pool A.
And the other turf there, it's third quarter, about 7 to go, and it's Pukekohe up 3-0. That's Pukekohe up 3-0 against Waikato. So that was Puke A versus Waikato A.
Yep, Puke, they'll be trying to stamp an early mark on this one, as we see Wellington here in a real arm wrestle with Christchurch.
Nice tackle there, Ashpreet on Sarge. Not the easiest guy to tackle, but he did that nicely.
And Now, a bit of a high press being put on by Christchurch. And that one finds the foot, though. And Wellington now, they'll throw an overhead back the other direction. Bit of space now up that right side. A little push in the back.
That's unnecessary stuff, I think.
Yeah. He just got beaten for speed a little bit and tried to check the run. And penalty corner coming the way of Wellington. Is this the opportunity for the breakthrough? Yeah, see it there, just tangled up in the legs and body. And penalty corner being awarded. Wellington, can they put their noses back in front? They've scored 2 from the penalty corner. 1 flick, 1 deflection. And a little variation. Looks like Sarge is set up at L1. And nothing coming there for the men in blue.
Plenty of gas on it.
Yeah.
Just wide, eh?
Yeah, no save being called on.
Well, picked it out nicely. It's a nice overhead there.
Oh, talk about the speed.
Alex.
And lovely interchange of passes, but a bit casual there.
Holy heck. As we know, Josh can run.
Yeah. Probably could have made it easy for himself just trapping it the first time, but wanted to get the Ferrari out of the garage. And
Nice.
Sarge. Oh. Penalty corner coming the way of Wellington. It was a bit messy in there, but Sarge just showing off some of those skills. No idea. Have a look at it on the replay. It come from here, behind there, and then a little 3D up and over.
So when he popped it up, I think the Christchurch guy made it a bit dangerous, maybe?
Yeah. It's, we'll get a reload here for Wellington.
Oh, good save.
Good save.
Oh, unlucky.
Yeah, just up into congestion there off the goalie. We'll see it on the replay. Good first flick, and yeah, that one just into traffic.
Sanjay did well getting rid of it, but
oh, excellent stick save from the goalie. He's not the biggest customer, but man, he got out to that one. Yeah.
Nice and low, nice and quick. It's coming in the wrong side. Just be careful inside this 25 here. Don't want any soft PCs, right?
Yeah, I've already had 3 of them already. Wellington, that's a lovely ball in. Oh, stick save on the line.
I think that was well done by Christchurch as well, not getting tangled up with the PC to get too close to him.
Yeah.
That gave him that space, so nothing soft, but good defence there. He's making everyone dizzy. And someone's going to sit down maybe, or no?
Just a drop stick, I think. Just rifles it straight at him for not 5.
Same player that threw a stick.
Yeah, that was Alex.
And just trying to change the point of attack here. You could hear from the strikers, not this time. And now that one's a little wayward.
I think the only one that could get it is Sarge.
Yeah, that's at his waist, that one. Just have a look at this little scramble here. Yeah, the goalie had to dig it off the line with his stick. Defender got his foot out of the way as well. And now Wellington again flooding numbers forward. Can they finally get one? It's got to go.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What a save. Good work.
touch off the back line. Trying to put it on the plate for Sarge, and the goalkeeper again showing off the stick skills. And can Christchurch now have their opportunity? Cam Haid rolling, lays it off. On the reverse. I tell you what, neither team want to get to a shootout at the moment. They are firing either end. Lovely bit of play.
I think that close. I think it was always going to go 3 metres over the goal.
Yep.
Fortunately.
Yeah, it's one of the ones where the crew on the back fence were ducking. And now Wellington come forward again.
Let's be careful in here, I think, Christchurch.
Yeah.
Just, nothing silly.
It's a couple of opportunities coming for Wellington. But again, has been the pitcher just not able to get the final one in front of goal.
Yeah.
Wellington, they've had so many opportunities at it, but credit to the
defence.
Yeah, the Christchurch defence. And they pull that one down. It's
in here.
2 on 5.
Tackle Shay.
Still got it though, and they're putting their numbers forward now. Christchurch.
Oh, what a ball.
Yeah, ball. Looking. And well defended there in front of goal. 3.5 left to play here. It's 3 all locked up. Can either team find a way to avoid the penalty shootout? Oh, and desperate defence. Again, I've said it already, what a way to start tournament 2025. Absolute ripper on the live stream turf as Wellington try and build their way going forward.
And on the other turf, you see them into the third quarter, so in Pukekari are up 3-0.
And, oh, how's that for skill? Alex Smeko Bucknell, but can't link up. Pretty easily cut out in the end there, and Christchurch try and go the other way.
Oh, well done, Vivek.
Yeah, this is,
Some nice skills by these guys out here.
Yeah. Yeah, both teams really...
Nice little touches, Like
yeah.
we saw Cam and Willie just carving up, and then these Wellington boys, like we know what Sarge can do here, and, Alex, just their tight skills have just been awesome.
Free hit just outside the 25-yard line now for Wellington. 2 minutes left on the clock, or we're going to a shootout game 1. Sarge rips one in, the touch is away.
Yeah, last 2, Brad.
Couple of overheads.
This guy will probably land one in the goal.
Yeah, I tell you what, if he ever gets it downwind.
Wow. And how's that picking out? Like, we think he's just bombing, but he's been, the last 3 or 4, he's been finding that space for his players.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys up the front there for Christchurch who can really get things going if they get on the end of them, as mistrap over the sideline. And that one not as far as I would have wanted it. Wellington going now. Lovely pass. Sarge searching. And
Just caught someone's foot.
Yep, again, the scramble is good for Christchurch, and I will say, yes, I don't know either of the goalies tremendously well, but from what I've seen out of this Christchurch one, he might back himself in the shootout.
Oh, heck yeah.
He's been incredible, especially with the use of his stick. Nice and low, so, could be something that he backs himself.
Yeah, Jess Deep was with Wellington about 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, and here is this it. Here's the penalty corner. 30 seconds left on the clock. This will probably do it here for the game. And Wellington with the opportunity. Who's Mr. Clutch? Who stands up here in the dying moment? Sarge there just rolled it onto the foot of Ashpreet. And who is it? Everyone's coming up for Wellington. This is it. They either win the game here at Wellington, or we're going to a penalty shootout game 1.
Time is coming up, so I think all the
Yep, that'll be it.
are up.
That'll be it there. There's the hooter. Oh, and it was almost a shambles.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to a shootout game 1, locked up, 3 apiece here between Christchurch and Wellington. And what a way to start NZIHC 2025, hosted here in Waikato. The defending champs pushed right to the brink by the returning for the first time in 4 years, Christchurch. And it was a huge second quarter by the men in red. All three of their goals coming in the second. This was that last penalty corner, real miscue. And Sarge, we certainly had an opportunity in front of goal there. And 3-3 the final in that one. Before we go to the shootout, for those unfamiliar with the penalty shootout, each team will select 5 attackers, field players, and 1 defending goalkeeper to contest the penalty shootout. Each attacker will then alternate and have 8 seconds to move the ball from the attacking 25-yard line into the circle and attempt to score a goal in those 8 seconds. There's no limit on number of shots, saves, rebounds, etc. You just got your 8 seconds. If the attacking player commits any offence, obstruction, foot, back of the stick, then the shootout is over. Or, of course, if it misses the goal and goes over the back line. If the goalkeeper has any sort of infringement, bad tackle, stick check, body takeout, anything along those lines, then there's the option of a retake or a penalty stroke, depending on the severity of that infringement. So 5 apiece means we'll play out the 5 shootouts until there's a clear winner. And if not, after the 5, it goes into a sudden death, do or die, 1-for-1 scenario, which will explain if we get that far. Now, as I mentioned, Canterbury, their goalkeeper will probably feel pretty confident about this. He was excellent, especially in that second half with some of the saves he was pulling off.
Yeah, Jasper's no stranger to this. Isn't the shootout down in Christchurch against us in Pukekohe when I was playing. Yeah, so I think he's a bit of an older player, older goalie, but yeah, certainly pretty mobile.
Yeah, and on the other side, man, like I said, we know the names in this Wellington side. Ton of skill and speed with the ball. So, yeah, this one's going to be a real interesting one. We'll try and figure out who's who in the zoo in terms of the takers.
We've got
it's like Jaspret and at least Ashpret, sorry, and both of the Hades.
Yeah, Vivek and the young Govind.
Yes, for Christchurch.
You get his name up on our big computer screen.
Then over the other side for Wellington, looks like Sarge, Josh, Alex.
Number 12. No. Oh, hang on, is that?
And we'll have the first.
Oh, number 12. No, sorry, apologies, everyone. That's Raj Ravji. He's a local lad, so that's awesome.
Our first one here for Christchurch. It's Will Haid. And we see the crew of umpiring staff. Looks like there's 6 of them out there.
Yeah, more umpires than players.
Yeah. 3 trying to figure out how the hooter works, and 2 trying to figure out how to count to 8. Manav out there.
Can't say that, Brad.
And here we go. Great save up first. Tight angle, but no time there. Great save from the Wellington goalkeeper, and it's a first up miss there for Christchurch. Can Wellington find the advantage on the first one?
Just deep.
The turn.
And another save.
Yeah, another great save.
Wow.
So we're still all square here. None through 1 for both sides.
Kavishan. There you go. It's a name we'll be looking out for.
Let's see, what do we got? It's got 2 goals already. The spin. Oh, it's hit the post. And it's thumbs up from the ref on the line. For those of you unaware, the ball has to cross the line before that hooter goes. That's why there's an umpire down on the baseline. And he got thumbs up for it. So first one goes the way of Christchurch. And now Sarge steps up for Wellington. Oh yeah, goes over.
How cool is that cat, eh?
I tell you what, identifies the goalie's not the tallest customer out there, just lulls him into a slow step and over he goes.
One each, eh? Wow.
We're still locked up here, 1 through 2, both teams.
Wow.
And pretty cool as well there.
Vivek.
Did well because the goalie had a big swing at it. And if
it under control.
Yep.
And didn't panic. You know, that's the thing. The awareness of these guys of the time and just playing all the way through.
And Josh now needs this one to level things up. Yeah, cool as well. Josh kind of half faked the spin and then came back onto the reverse. And again, we're all locked up through 3. Has been the flavour of the day so far.
Until the crew walked in.
Now, 4th one here for Christchurch.
Wow.
Oh, how's that? Opens the wrists on it and just goes in the roof on the sweep it. How good is that?
He's not here to muck around.
No, no, come flying in and just rips one. And now Wellington need to answer here, or it's going to become increasingly difficult for them.
Oh, wow.
Great save. Didn't get it up over the boot of the goalkeeper, and just like that.
Yeah, he came out a long way, the goalie too, and did well to stay on his feet, not commit to the floor. So, great goalkeeping there.
Yeah, and now Cam Haid has the opportunity to win it here for Christchurch. A make here will seal it.
Wow.
And there it is, Cam Haid, cool as you like, wins it for Christchurch. They're back in the tournament, they're back in the winner's circle, and Christchurch upset the defending champs. Just like that in the penalty shootout. It's not the full 4 points, but 2 is better than 1 and better than none here for Christchurch. Wellington, wow, they've just made their journey back to the Diane Chand a little bit more difficult with a first up loss here in the shootout to Christchurch. And 7-5 with the shootouts in the end there. 4 of them executed by Christchurch, and they just ran out of numbers, Wellington, in the end. What a game, what a start. S-Man, NZIHC 2025, we're alive.
Well, if that's our first game on the live stream, well, we're in for an action-packed weekend. How good, you know, it's great to see this opening game on the live stream. You know, what a better way to showcase your hockey to everybody out there.
Yep, and what a celebration of having all 8 teams back again, all right, especially in the men's A section. Waikato won and have come up. CD did it the year before. Christchurch are back. And we mentioned a way to start. Christchurch here, get it done in the penalty shootout over Wellington. You guys at home enjoy some of the highlights, and we'll be back here with a women's matchup shortly between Wellington and Auckland in the women's section.